from the state of Karnataka. We are learning that JDS workers are protesting against BJP leaders for not inviting JDS leader Kumaraswamy while laying the foundation stone for road construction in Rampura village in Channapatna district in Karnataka. The police have now detained these JDS protesters. For more details, I'm joined in by our correspondent Ritu on the phone line. Ritu, if you could take us through what were the demands of these protesters. I do understand that they've been angry about Kumaraswamy not being invited, but having said that, we all know that it is the BJP government calling the shots in Karnataka. So why the anger?
So you see, this is the incident that occurred in the Channapatna district where the BJP leader, in fact, Yogeshwar, CP Yogeshwar, who also happens to be the farmer minister, was at the site to lay the foundation stone for the road construction work. And yes, Ashwath Narayan, the higher education minister, was absent for the event, but it was the Yogeshwar who was there to perform the puja along with the other BJP leaders. So that's when the JDS workers learned about the puja being conducted there without the presence of the former minister Kumaraswamy, who is the JDS leader as well, and who also has a strong hold in the Channapatna district. So since he also comes from that district, so that's the kind of a home district. And it's in fact a home district of the Kumaraswamy as well, and has a huge followers and supporters as well from that district. You see, that's when they got upset about the main leader from their party not being present and not being invited, in fact, for the puja. So these JDS workers, in fact, reach in a huge number and start protesting right in front of the puja site. But yes, the police had to rush to the spot immediately and disperse the crowd. They also had to the police had to resort to a mild lathi charge as well. But meanwhile, you see the Yogeshwar, the former minister, also had to leave the location with the heavy police security, because there was also eggs that were being hurled at his vehicle. So this is the incident that we are learning from the Channapatna district.
All right, and of course, very dramatic visuals over there. We are also learning that JDS protesters have now been detained as well. Has there been any sort of reaction come in from senior JDS politicians?
So, as we talk about this incident, you see, any incident that has taken place in this district, it has always been about the sentiments of the JDS workers, in fact. So that's the kind of an emotional attachment that they have towards their leader, Kumaraswamy. So that's what we are seeing now there. So where these the protesters who turned out in a huge number, in fact, the police outside had to resort to a mild lathi charge to disperse, but just did not work out there. But almost around 20 JDS workers were also being detained by the police to ensure that the peace on the ground maintained.
All right. As we all know, the state is also headed into elections next year. How crucial is, it almost seems very deliberate in terms of protests. What are leaders of the BJP say?
So you see, this was the BJP, in fact, leaders had to say that it was a long time discussion about that puja, but in a sense, because Ashwath Narayan, the minister, the present higher education minister, could not reach the location. But as there was a discussion within the leaders, the CP Yogeshwar, the former minister, will be doing this whole puja. But therein you see everything going other way around and run up to an election. These incidents had in fact been very common coming out from this special district, because this happens to be a home district of the Kumaraswamy as well. The JDS has a very strong hold. This is not one incident. In fact, a couple of years back and a couple of months back also, in fact, we have seen many such incidents coming up from that district, where the JDS workers had turned out in a huge number protesting against any party leaders taking up a work in that district without the presence of the senior leader Kumaraswamy.
All right. Many thanks to you, Ritu, for bringing in the latest. And with that, let's